Well, welcome back to the vlog, guys. I hope you're doing really good. Now, one of the things that has always been like the most fun to me in the whole hobby is a brand new tank, well, not necessarily brand new, but an empty tank, cleaned up, all ready to start scaping. And in the last video, that's what we did with that one behind me. Now that one is ready for me to start sticking all the wood down and then start putting in some sand and gravel and all that sort of stuff behind all the rock area, ready for our plants to go in. Now, before we try and glue anything down, I want to get all the gravel in the background area first, because to be honest, I think that will lock a lot of it down, because if I lock down this big piece underneath the gravel, that'll pin that, which will pin that, which will pin that, and then there, and so on and so forth. And then afterwards, I can get the glue or the silicone and just stick it to the rocks. Where is the gravel? It's around here. Come with me. So this is one of my little storage areas around the side of my house. Like, no one comes around it, so it's always a bit of a mess, but you know, it's an organised mess. So this is the gravel I want to use at the bottom. It's like a coarse sort of gravel. Then we've got it going to fine, and then the finest there. That's actually a bit off the colour that I want to use. I want to use more of a sort of whitey sand, so I'll probably get a whiter fine sand, but this stuff's good and this stuff's good. But we start off with the coarse first. This one going in now. Oh yeah, guys, I just remembered I had a load of the volcano mineral left. This is basically just crushed up lava rock. It's nothing special. It's incredibly porous, but so it provides like a massive surface area for beneficial bacteria, which is going to be key in us keeping our water quality immense with only the tiny little filter we're going to put in here. And again, that filter is basically all that's doing is providing a little bit of water movement. So the bulk of the filtration is going to be done on these deep media beds that we're creating on either side of the tank. On top of this now, I'll just get progressively finer gravel until we're up to sort of like, well, quite near the top, to be honest. We'll put it like quite high, so that then all of our plants can start growing out of the water. We can just get a nice big jungle coming out the top, which looks awesome. So I don't know how well that was coming across there, guys, but you probably could see I wasn't being careful at all when I'm putting that in. I'm just chucking it all in, piling it up. Like, I don't think there's any reason to be overly careful. We're going to cover it up with other sand anyway. And the little peaks of like detail and bigger bits of gravel all poking through all adds to the realism. I personally don't like a decorative sand at the front that's like perfectly clean. So what I mean by that is, if you look here at my angelfish aquarium, you can see that the coarser stuff is at the back, and then it grades out forwards to being more fine. I like to do that. It looks far more natural, unless I'm going for something like completely different, like a reef tank, for instance. So it's not a reef, it's my freshwater reef, but you can see here I'm keeping it all uniform to give it that sort of unnatural look, if you like. So the point of that was that I've got completely different, always tripping over stuff. The point of that was that I've got completely different tanks side by side. But this one, I want this one to look like a tiny little slice of nature. We're going to achieve that, so let's carry on. Right, so basically we've now locked in this piece. Look, that's locked in under the gravel. We've locked in that big bit at the back. This one's still loose, so that needs to be sort of glued down or silicone down. This one at the back here, again, underneath the gravel, locked down, and then this one's completely loose as well. So we can put a little bit of silicone on that on that bit there. And then this one we can, you know, again, somewhere at the back, somewhere like in there, I don't know, somewhere like that. That would probably work quite well, silicone in that down. So I've got the silicone here, guys. It's just like premium aquarium silicone. It's like, you have to let it cure first before you actually fill up with water. So you need to give it about 24 hours. But that's just the same with any silicone. And you might also notice behind me, guys, look, the reef aquarium is misting up. Now this is because obviously I put loads of I'm really struggling to talk today. I put loads of beneficial bacteria in there, and then I put the rams in there for several days, but then I took them out and moved them back across, well, not back across, but across over to the angelfish aquarium. So that will be bacteria die-off effectively. So we'll do a big water change on that. Basically, you have to restart the system again when the fish do come with more beneficial bacteria, but that's okay, not a problem. You can buy it all in bottles now. It's all good, and it works very well. So hopefully you guys can see there, look, I haven't used a lot at all. There's barely any. In fact, you can't really see it either, which is brilliant. Now the reason for that is we don't actually need it to be on there like fully permanently. I've just put it in there to lock it down whilst it becomes waterlogged, and it'll just stay down on its own after that. So as long as it stays put like that for, oh, it's all over me fingers. Wear gloves, guys, wear gloves. Anyway, as long as it stays like that for a few days or up to a week, then we're all good. So that is looking great. It's now time to add that finer sand that we wanted to put on top. And this is the stuff I'm talking about. It's that huge Hugo Kamishi Natural. What? I don't know why I'm showing you here. Let me just put it in the tank. Right, admittedly, that is a ton of substrate in there. Well, it's not a ton, I suppose, but it's banged right up, as I said, on each side. That's because we can put plants in there that are going to grow right out the surface, so that's going to look great. Most of that substrate, you're not even going to be able to see after a month anyway. Not even that, probably a few weeks. Foreground, like I say, is going to be more of a fine sand mixed in with the coarser stuff. It just gives a really good texture. And also I'm going to put enough into that foreground so that I can put even more plants in that as well. I want a bit more detail in the foreground this time, not just bare sand, bits of green here, maybe some reds as well. We've got lots of plants to choose from anyway, haven't we? So yeah, speaking of plants, what are we going to put in it? Right, so we've got a load of the Tropica plants to go for with the 1-2 grow range. Got lots of red in the Alternanthan Reniki Mini. I hate saying that. And then we've got loads of greens as well. We've got Monte Carlo, we've got S. repens, this one, which I've never used before, but I'm going to use that as well. Got loads of hair grass still, more S. repens, Rotala hate dry again. And then we've got all of these that are already sort of established plant. Oh, terrible reflections, but all of these are all established plants that we can use as well. Some nice tall hair grass at Eleocharis at the back there as well. Established stem plants, which is great. A little bit of limnophila there. I'm going to take that out, use that one. But then if you remember me saying, guys, we're going to have lots of stuff coming at the top. Well, more so on this side. I might have to... Oh, I just knocked all of that about. That's all right. It's still sticking, still sticking. I might have to just build this up a little bit more because I want the water level to be about there. So, and then I've got all these plants. Oh, that's not showing it, is it? In here, look, this is like a little mini greenhouse I've been making for plants that I wanted to put immersed at some point. So they're going to be really good. We've got Ludwigia Super Red in here. We've got Hydroculture Japan there. We've got some Rotala at the bottom. Although this has all been growing in just humid conditions, you can see there, it's only had the root systems in the water. So that should work really well. It still have to convert slightly, but it will look awesome in no time at all. But before we add all those plants in, we need to add in our last layer of sand. So it's the fine stuff I was talking about. I've just washed some out in here. It's just like a quartz-based sand. It's nothing special at all. Am I going to do this without spilling it? Probably not. Take a scoop. Oh, you guys know how to put stuff in. Why am I going to even show you this? Look, ready? Oh, I spilt it everywhere. Okay, plonk. That's how you do it. It goes in. You push it around. Keep doing until done. So that's now all the different types of sand and substrate and all that in. That's all in place. It looks quite flat at the moment, admittedly, but that's fine. That's just how it looks. Till you fill up with water, you can start mixing in those different gradings. You can start adding a few more broken up bits of cereal stone. All that detail will come right in when we added water. But at this point, we want to start adding our flowers, I was going to say. Well, that would be cool as well, I suppose. But we want to start adding our plants in. I'm going to start off at the top and work my way inwards. I think the biggest impact is going to come from the immersed plants in this setup, so I'm going to make sure I focus on those first and then do all the detail plants all around those. So now we need to take out our plants that we've prepared from the greenhouse. First I'm choosing the Lobelis cardinalis. I don't know why I'm trying to say that like in Italian. So usually in your aquarium this plant grows quite small, but in its immersed state like now, it's huge and it's going to look really good coming out the top of our ecosystem aquarium. Take the plant out the pot, break the rock wool in half, and then scrape off the rest of it with your tweezers. Simple. We can now plant the plants. We can now plant them into the top section, just like you would plant into a plant pot. Plant. But yeah, exactly the same way, guys. Be careful of the roots, obviously, and the stems. You don't want to snap them, but push them deep enough into the sand or the gravel so that it anchors them down, and then just push some of the gravel into the center, and that will keep them nice and upright. So already, just with planting those few little plants, it's transformed it into some cool little sort of beachy, natural, scapey thing already, in my opinion. Straight away, makes you smile. Right, let's just keep going. I've got no plan with this. All I know is just keep putting plants in. Big plants at the back, shorter plants at the front. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. One good tip though is if you put something on the left, you tend to want to put it on the right as well. Not in the same proportions. You tend to put the bigger stuff one side and then keep it sort of a smaller portion or a detail of it the other side. But again, this is one of these trial and error things. You don't really learn this until you do it. So if you're always thinking, oh, I need to learn more before I start this, don't worry about that. Jump in and get started. A quick shrimp update, guys. You remember in the previous video I was saying how I was really excited to have some of my favourite shrimp, the crystal reds you can see there. Well, yeah, there's two, and there, oh, there's one as well. Look, he's hanging upside down. But anyway, on that back wall there, can you see, look, there's 3 already. Little babies we've got. Yes, there's 3. I counted oh, that's gone funny. I counted 6 in total. So that's brilliant to know that there's at least 6 of the babies. And that is cool because it brings my turtle up to about 10 plus crystal reds. Oh, there's one right there as well in the glass, look, which it won't focus on for sure. But anyway, right in the middle there. So yeah, over 10 now for sure, over 10 crystal reds, which is brilliant. And how is Timmy doing in this? Oh yeah, his old bulb blew. So we've got that bulb, which is a proper UVB bulb. UVB bulb. I can't say it. It's a proper UVB bulb. There we go. But yeah, he's doing great in his new home. I fed him last night. He's now hiding, so we can't. Timmy, come out. We want to see you. We want to see you, buddy. Where are you? There you are. Oh, there he is. Look, he's just hiding under. Sorry, I've disturbed you. Sorry, baby. There was his. This seems to be like his new little house that he likes to stay in, and this little corner is where he likes best as well. But yeah, fed him, all good, eating well, doing really good. So that is great. And regarding the guppy cliffhanger, so far, so good, doing all right. So yeah, Timmy, to be fair, doesn't seem to be that interested in him. Or her, or whatever that guppy baby. Where's he gone? Oh, anyway, yeah, he doesn't seem to be that interested. So hopefully that will be all right. So yeah, that is looking great, guys. Those are the big bulky plants that I want to put in first. Next up, we have got the Rotala. We've got Rotala green here. I think that's going to look really good. Just planted each stem individually or a couple at a time into all the gaps everywhere. And then after that, we can put that Hydrocotyle Japan there because that spreads immensely out of water. Look at this. I put a tiny sprig of it in this. This was going to be the Newt Paludarium, which isn't probably going to be happening now, guys, unless we can end some sort of lockdown very soon and I can go places. But look how well that spread. That was just a tiny little area here that had it. Oh, look, the moss is doing great there as well. Anyway, but it's going everywhere. It will eventually spread everywhere on there, but that will sort of happen on this aquarium as well. It will just sort of spread in and amongst all the gaps because there will be water as well. So it'll come down and spread across, but you have to keep on top of it. It does grow very quickly, but ultimately you need fast growing plants in this type of aquarium that we're going for. Oh, come on. This is starting to look very exciting now, isn't it, guys? You can really see where I'm going with this. Now, the reason we keep all this really densely compact like this is as it grows, it will always try and follow the sort of the water line that will be flat on top of it. It'll try and go sideways, left, right, up. Well, not up, but forwards and back. But if you keep it all compact in like this, I'll even fill in some more of these gaps as well. This one's really tightly compact, look, in the planting. The reason I'm doing that is because it all grows as one, if you like, and comes upwards then rather than across, which it will try and do. So that's the best way to plant, guys. If you want immersed growth, dense. It needs to be dense and near the surface, and it will grow up out of the water in no time. All these plants, by the way, can grow out of water. Aquatic plants grow out of water. That's how they're grown before they're delivered to you normally. So don't worry about them dying off or anything like that. They will go through some sort of adaptation process, but they will always eventually adapt. You might get a few die-off leaves, like something like this might die off, but then you just trim that leaf, and where you trim it, the point, like say like that new shoot you can see there, If that's out of the water, it'll just continue growing as it is now. Aren't plants clever? They're so clever. So as per usual, guys, I've run out of time. But look, you can see behind me, look, because I've run out of time, it's getting late at night. I need to go to bed. You can see, look, I've just covered the whole thing in not kitchen roll. That's cling film. Kitchen roll is paper. Idiots. But yeah, this is just going to keep all the moisture locked in, and then we can carry on with it in the morning. And then tomorrow you'll see that video of me completely finishing the whole tank. This is nothing, by the way. There is so much plants going in this you wouldn't believe. I'm going to pack it right out. That is the key of ecosystem tank. Tons of plants. I mean, that's the key with any tank, really, isn't it? That's why I get such good success, like loads of plants. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've enjoyed how this tank is coming along, and I will see you on the next one.